over the course of, let's say, the last couple of weeks, evidence has come in on the side of the more benign view. And you could say that that's the more benign view that we've seen in the pricing of equity markets in terms of compared to previous variants, fewer hospitalizations and slightly milder illnesses. Having said that, the variant has made quite uneven progress across different parts of the world. And if you look at areas where immunity is limited, either because vaccine take-up hasn't been strong or maybe because they have adopted more of a zero COVID policy, you can still expect to see some disruption. And unfortunately, that does include China, which I think is material for the global markets. I mean, it looks like the approach being taken is quite economically costly there. But I think even if Omicron passes in a more benign way than Delta does, I think the whole episode is just a reminder of what happens if large parts of the world are essentially unvaccinated. It's just a breeding ground for variants, and I think we can expect to see more variants over time, and of course no reason to assume that they will be milder in the way that Omicron has been. But on balance, I think the reaction of markets, particularly the equity market, seems fairly rational, and especially what's happened to the repricing in some of the reopening trades like travel and leisure.
I want to ask you about that specifically because we've had a fairly good start to the week for that sector. We'll bounce around the airlines, but the news flow today around various destinations, 8 countries where flights will be banned from for a couple of weeks at least for Hong Kong to manage the COVID outbreak at this point. Does that change the news flow? Does it change the narrative around whether you want to be getting back into travel and leisure stocks at this point?
I think investing in a sector like travel and leisure during a pandemic is always going to be a fairly rocky ride. But having said that, I think investors are probably primed for some of that uneven global development in terms of the progress. And I think maybe what they take some comfort from is even when new restrictions are being introduced, countries such as South Africa or the UK perhaps suggesting that they may not last for too long. But I think we can assume that any trading statements from the sector in the near term are going to be pretty cautious and pretty weak. But I think investors are probably ready for that.
Hi, I'm Joanna Bersecci, and thank you for watching. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thank you for watching.